Welcome back for budgetary control implementation decisions. We will talk about differences between the two modules and also take a look at the common implementation decisions. Starting off with the differences, budgetary control, this orchestrates the spending control process by validating if transactions have sufficient funds and if they are subject to spending controls. It stores a budget, it performs funds check and funds reservation when transactions are submitted or approved. It maintains budgetary control balances for expenses or expense accounts, including the budget, the funds reserved, so your commitment, obligation, and expenditures, and the fund available balances based on the budget calendar and the control budget structure or the chart of account segments that you are controlling by without journal entries. Encumbrance accounting, this creates encumbrance journal entries for requisitions, POs, and it also creates actual journal entries for invoices and journals using standard accrual with encumbrance accounting method in the subledger accounting module. It optionally creates encumbrance, invoices encumbrance to report actual as payment rather than the invoice validation type. Stores and maintains the encumbrance and actual account balances in general ledger, and it's doing that based on the ledger's accounting calendar and the chart of accounts. You can load budget balances into general ledger for comparison with your actual balances. But encumbrance accounting doesn't automatically maintain funds availability balances in general ledger. That is only automatically maintained in the budgetary control module. As I mentioned, our budgetary control or our budget control account structure, which is a chart of accounts that we wish to budget to. Now budgetary control and encumbrance accounting enables public sector, higher education, and non-profit organizations to define and manage budgets and spending with better visibility into obligations and expenditures and comply with ledger or legal reporting requirements. Some organizations want to budget and control spending at a different level than a general ledger accounting. Now we can do that because we allow the budgetary control or budget calendar and account structures that used in budgetary control to be different from the accounting calendar and the chart of accounts used in general ledger. For example, the ledger in your general ledger may be based on a monthly calendar and the chart of accounts that has 5 segments like here. Department, fund, account, program, district, but your control budget in budgetary control might be based on an annual calendar and an accounting structure with only 3 segments. So you might choose to just check your funds by funds, department, and account. This is if your organization's budget annually and only control spending by those 3 segments, funds, departments, and accounts. You can have an accounting calendar in general ledger that's different to your budget calendar. You can have your charts of accounts in general ledger different to your account structure in budgetary control. But if you want to keep the budget calendar and account structures in budgetary control exactly the same as the accounting calendar and the chart of account in general ledger, of course, you can do that as well. It's very flexible. As a common implementation decisions, you can implement budgetary control and encumbrance accounting together or independently. It depends on your business requirement. So if you have got a requirement for real-time spending control, then you are going to be using budgetary control. If you require general ledger journals for requisitions and purchase orders, then you use encumbrance accounting. If your requirement is budget and actual reporting using general ledger, then you don't need budgetary control or encumbrance accounting. You just need general ledger. So if you are just doing budget versus actual reporting, then you don't need budgetary control or encumbrance accounting. See you in the next lecture.